So, episode 3 of Meditation Mondays. I hope you are able to join me. If you can't join me live right now, you can always take this. I don't know, call it a class. It's a meeting. Take this meeting, take this practice at your own time. So tonight, I thought that we would talk about the eyes. And I've been in many meditation sessions where the teacher will instruct students to meditate with eyes open. And inevitably, there are the questions, oh, I can't meditate with my eyes open, or I've always meditated with my eyes closed, or prayed with my eyes closed. And okay, that's fine. There's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with that. And if that's how you feel comfortable, and if you can stay awake and aware while your eyes are closed, then, by all means. I was taught in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition of eyes open. And the reason for eyes being open is to have a sense of wakefulness, a sense of presence, and a sense of the present moment. So if your eyes are closed, you're kind of internalizing things. You're inside your head. You're even trying to maybe create another state of consciousness as opposed to being aware of your environment, being aware of what's happening around you. Now, we're aware of what's happening and not just noticing. Um, but not allowing ourselves to be distracted. So, if you're meditating and people are maybe walking around the room, which would be unfortunate. You want to try to find a place where there is no distraction. But if people are walking, or maybe um, you hear things from the other room, or maybe you see things out the window, or even if you're meditating outside, which I often do. I love meditating outside. Cars go past, trains go past, etc. These are things that we need to work with. So we work with whatever's in our path rather than trying to be free of them. Oh, I'm meditating in a busy place. I've meditated so many times at the airport. Um, and with my eyes open, and you invite that. Well, maybe invite isn't the right word, but you work with it, you notice it, you sit with it, sit with all the busyness, sit with the announcements, you sit with those things. And if that's something that you can do, then you're truly in the moment, and you're truly trying to um, be aware and awake. Excuse me. Um, so, how do you meditate with your eyes open? In yoga, we have this way of looking and focusing called drishti. So, focus on something that is maybe about, uh, you know, maybe 6 feet in front of you, and just give it a soft gaze. You don't have to like stare at it and burn a hole in whatever it is that you're staring at, but just give it a soft gaze. So if you like find, something on the wall, something in the carpet in front of you, something that you can just put your eyes on and put your gaze on. Um, you can also have your eyes halfway open, but to allow the light in, and to allow the presence of what is around you, your environment, to be there, and for you to be aware. That's the point of meditating with your eyes open. Um, do I close my eyes, during my meditation session? Of course I do. I have to, relubricate my eyes. If I leave my eyes open all the time, they're going to get dry. So yeah, I close my eyes and just, reopen them, and it's not a big deal. So what I'm asking is, if you've never meditated with your eyes open before, give it a try. See what it feels like. Um, if you are overly stimulated and overly distracted, try going back and forth. It is allergy season here in Michigan, and I'm sneezing and sore throating. So, all right. So, as we have stated in the past, or as I have stated in the past, there are three aspects to sitting in meditation. First, we find our seat. Feet are flat on the floor. If you're sitting in a chair, hands are on top of your thighs, palms down. You can use any type of mudra that you already know. If you know this mudra, Zen mudra, right at your belly here. Um, if you know other mudras, that's totally up to you. We're not going to go into that right now. Spine is long, back is strong, front is soft, shoulders are down and back, neck is continuing the spine, and the crown of your head is going towards the ceiling. And then the second thing you do is you notice your breath coming in and out of your nose. The breath is our anchor. We come back to the breath. If you're new to meditation, you can use the breath as a tool by counting the breaths. I would suggest you don't go any higher than 5 or 6, and then you start over at 1 again. You can also say, I am breathing in, I am breathing out. Breathing in, I am breathing out. You can also use a word. You can breathe in peace and breathe out compassion or something of that nature, using a word. But those are ways of anchoring yourself to an anchor. So the breath is our anchor, and we're going to come back to it when we get distracted by our thoughts. So the third thing is your thoughts. When you find yourself thinking, when you find yourself following a thought, bring yourself back to your breath. It's simple, but it's not easy. So we may get distracted by 1,000 thoughts, then we're going to come back to our breath 1,000 times. And through our practice, we try to whittle that down to 100 times, then 50 times, and 10 times. No meditator is ever without thoughts. It's what our brain does. It's designed to think. So, but what we are endeavoring to do is not allow the thoughts to become overwhelming, not allow the thoughts to control us, to intimidate us, to cause anxiety. We're here to notice the thoughts and let them go. And another thing to keep in mind is that we are not our thoughts. So whatever it is that we are thinking of, that is not who we are. It is a byproduct of, our mind, our brain, and just the way things are in the world. So we are sitting here practicing, sitting, breathing, noticing, and coming back to the breath, and with our eyes open. So we're going to sit for 15 minutes. Let me get my timer out here. Start to notice your breath. Notice the way you're sitting. Find your thought. I'm sorry, find your breath. If you find yourself being taken by a thought or holding on to a thought, just say thinking and then come back to the breath. Trying to focus with the soft eyes about 6 feet in front of us. Being aware of the room, but not distracted. Start to bring some movement to your fingers and your toes. You roll your shoulders back a couple of times. So how many of you tried with your eyes open for the entire time, or maybe part of the time? It brings a different type of awareness. Yeah. And it is something to get used to, especially if you've been meditating or praying or sitting with your eyes closed. It takes a little bit of getting used to all of the activity, or if there is activity. But yeah, in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, which I was a student of, it's the way that we practice with eyes open in awareness in our present moment. So, episode 2 of Meditation Mondays. I hope that you enjoyed sitting with me. And please share this with other people and let other people know that we have this meditation time, this time to sit together on Mondays at 7 o'clock. Thanks. Any questions? All right, you guys have a great weekend or week ahead. I'll see you next Monday.